Ron Harris here from muscledevelopment.com, along with forum legend, Big Mike Cox. Adult film, no, not an adult film. It's a great adult film name, but anyway, he was here helping out today with commentating, the play-by-play, lending his expert eye while I was trying to take my pictures on the iPhone 1. Yeah, we had a lot of divisions today, and this was just day one of the judging. Today we went through women's figure over 40, classic physique for men, classic physique over 40. Were some other things. Men's physique over 40, women's physique, and it all came down to the end. Everyone was waiting for 212 bodybuilding, which was pretty damn good. So let's start real quick. Women's physique, huge class. It was 35 of them, I believe. A lot of talent, but Autumn Swanson really stood out. She was, I believe, the Arnold Classic champ last year. I just saw her in Chicago, and she was off. She didn't do that well in Chicago, but she got her shit together in 3 weeks. So what did you think of Autumn today?
Autumn was very complete, small waist, wide shoulders. She wasn't overly hard. Now, you had some girls that were really hard, some girls were kind of soft. Autumn had a nice balance of hardness and fullness, beautiful shape, skin tone, suit, everything flowed well together. She should be the winner. The girl that was right next to her right, I forgot her name. This girl was phenomenal.
From Brazil, I don't know if you're talking about, her name is Evelani Rocha from Brazil. And I want to say I could be wrong. I think she's the one that won in Toronto. You know, my brain doesn't work that well anymore, but I believe she's the same one. She looks great too. Physique, I just got to say, I don't know what they're feeding these girls in Brazil, but they're cranking out the physique champs over there for some reason.
Her physique was so pleasing. She flowed so well. But again, she wasn't overly hard. It was kind of whatever the judges prefer. I'm not sure which way they're going to go. There's so many different physiques in this class. I mean, between, like I said, condition, some girls are tall, some girls are short. It's a huge variety. So God bless the judges for, narrowing it down and picking the top, 5 in this class.
And on a footnote to that, there's been a lot of Rosie and Giles, and there's been a lot of talk lately. It's the standards for women's physique. It seems like a lot of them are starting to look more like women bodybuilders with the strided glutes and the real sunken faces. And, it's really up to the judges to decide, are we going to reward that or not reward that? Because if you show up and somebody beats you because they were harder, then that sends a message, shit, I better come back next time while strided to hell or else. So, these judges have a tough job. Okay, let's move on. Classic. Another big class. Goodness gracious. What was this about? 35, 40 guys? 35. Another huge class. So the guy I predicted to win this, Henri Pierre Arnaud, see how fancy I can get sometimes? From Montreal, a taller guy. Looks really good, really good. I don't know if he's got it totally wrapped up because it's some good talent. I was impressed by this Keone Pearson guy from Georgia. Flex Wheeler kept nodding at me, elbowing me to look at him, and wow.
Keone has a true classic physique. In this class, you have a lot of bodybuilders that are in classic. But that Keone kid, the men's physique trophy should be molded after him. Yeah. He looks that good. He wasn't super hard, but his waist is this big, pull the vacuum. He reminds me of a smaller Francis Benfato. That's what the way he flows. Everything about this kid is phenomenal. This is what a classic physique should look like. Henry was phenomenal when he walked out. I'm not sure if he's going to win, but he's huge. He doesn't have a classic physique, so the name of the class can be kind of misleading. Yeah. So I would love if you call it classic bodybuilding. Yes. Would be a little bit better. But that Keone kid, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that he got the call-outs that he did, and he was right there with Henri, and he was, if we watch him in the 212 bodybuilding, we would immediately say, he's off. Wouldn't even want him in that first, if he was in the first call-out, we'd have been upset. But classic, just like we were talking about women's physique, supposed to be different. They're not supposed to be judged by the same standards. So maybe this kid will win, and that'll show people it's not all about being strided and crazy, dry, and grainy, even though then you get to the Olympia, and I think they expect that regardless. Yeah, it's a different ballgame. Also want to mention a couple other guys because they were really good. Damian Patrick from Santa Monica looked great. And these two Martinez guys both had, sorry about that, both had mustaches. There was Brian Martinez is the bald guy with a mustache. There's Jason Martinez, he had hair and a mustache. Phenomenal physiques. But I just thought it was funny. They had the same last name and they had the epic mustaches going on.
Rusty Jeffers of physique. That's what he reminded me of.
Yeah. So yeah, it's probably going to come down to those two guys tonight, Henri Pierre Arnaud and Keone Pearson. So total apples and oranges. Henri's probably a foot taller, totally different look to him. Okay, and here we are, 212 bodybuilding. So this was a fairly large group compared to what I thought it was going to be. Going into the show, you know, I called. You want me to step forward? See, we're letting you in on the secrets behind all this. Nicolas Veloud, the kid from Switzerland. Wow, he's built like a tank. I was just so impressed with this kid. Glutes shredded the shit, man. My God, the condition on this kid. So much muscle.
I just laughed when he walked out because he's got so much muscle on his frame. It doesn't look like he can shave his face. He's so big, you can't take your eye off of him. Yeah. And when you turn him to the back, his glutes were peeled. Now, his back isn't great. He's not going to challenge Lunsford or Flex Lewis in the back of the bicep. But this guy's got so much muscle, man. I don't know how he makes 212. Because he is just absolutely insane looking. So he's probably clear winner. But what was the second? I don't know what the second.
Yeah, we had. I mean, nobody was like a clear second place. I think it's going to be a battle between. There was a few guys that looked really good. It was Derek Osland from Florida, first pro show, phenomenal. Condition on him wasn't that great, but I was just size and shape were right there. Oswaldo Gonzalez looked great. He's from Venezuela. Condition was crazy. Wasn't missing any body parts. Lloyd Dollar, who we interviewed last night. Lloyd looked really good. And Mike Ergus, another Jose Raymond client, who's also did the Masters, but Mike was looking about as sharp as you can look.
Dude, Mike looked phenomenal. I would have had him in that first call out. He was full. He was shredded. He dried out. He's got a freaky look to him. Yeah. This is Mike's turned pro back in the mid 2000s, I think, at the USA. He was one of those guys, you know, coming, finally turned pro. Yep. Took some time off, but he looked fantastic. He's much different than he was in Indianapolis, like night and day difference. So,
well, I just saw him 3 weeks ago in Chicago. He didn't look like that. I mean, they were barely looking at him in Chicago. I think he was third call out in Chicago. So, big change. You know, props to you, Mike, and Jose for pulling it together in a couple weeks there. Just a couple other guys I want to mention. Milton Martinez looked really good. Dektrick Lewis, a lot of potential there. Dektrick just need to be harder from the back, especially the glutes and hams was soft. But I see a lot of potential with Dektrick, who is Kevin Leverone's athlete. Fernando de Almeida from Brazil was in the first call out. Looked great in Chicago. Looked great here. He'll be in the mix too. Great back on that guy. Silvio Samuel, who's getting better and better. You know, when I saw him at New York Pro, I was like, oh no, he's done. You know, because I thought maybe his body was all, you know, nobody really knows how old he is. I mean,
old man muscle, man. Like, he's got the mature, old school muscle. He's been around forever. He was the top 10 guy at the Olympia, in the Open Olympia, not 212. So he was originally I think the first 202 class in Dallas, I believe.
So he was the first 202, the first lightweight, now called 212 winner ever. Yep. Silvio.
Silvio, he's been around forever. You know, took some time off from personal issues, came back, looks phenomenal, man.
Yeah. So, like Giles had said in the preview, you know, he just needs time to keep training and get better and better, and that's what seems to be happening. Because when I saw him in New York, I really was thinking, this is it. This is one of those terrible comebacks, and he should just pack it up. But no, he's still got something left. Yeah. He's going to get better. That's all I'm going to talk about for this time. Because, geez, we're only about an hour and 40 minutes away from the finals. Cameraman just flipped me off, so that means, I think he wants me to wrap it up. So, I know, we got stuff to do. So we'll catch you just a couple more hours here in Tampa, Florida at Tim Gardner's Tampa Pro. For muscledevelopment.com, coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharma. This has been Ron Harris with Big Mike Cox.